So welcome everyone to another webinar from the CoDEMO project. The topic today is about modern technologies in the agriculture sector, and we will see some best practice scenarios presented by Professor FLOREA and Professor țIPOș from the Lucian Blaga University in Sibiu, which is one of the partners from the project. This session is also recorded and it will be available on the project website shortly after we finish. And as always, if you have some questions or if you want to have some more information, don't hesitate to ask. Also, you can raise your hand and ask directly or put your questions in the chat, and I'm sure we will have a few minutes at the end to answer your questions. The floor is yours. You can go ahead. Thank you.
So, hello to everyone. I will start, Adi. I will start with my presentation. Okay, my name is Anca and I'm from Lucian Blaga University of Sibiu, and I will present you on research work of our work that we started with the idea in the beginning of the last summer with two students from Applied Electronics. I'm teaching, by the way, at the food industry, and with food industry, I'm teaching automation in food industry, and with others of my colleagues from food industry, they are engineer in food industry. We'll start to, we try to continue our research concerning to monitoring the foam of the fermentation process of the wort from beer. So we are a multidisciplinary team with students from our part and students from applied engineering, and I will present. Yes, I want to, now I will present our work. So it's working, you see?
Yes.
It's working, yes. Yes, it's okay?
All good.
Okay, so our research team consists of my two colleagues, young colleagues, Ketnai Otto. He is a food industry engineer process, and my colleague also Mariana Păcală. She is specialist in beer processes. And also we have three other students, as I said, from our parts, Mihai Ciucă Florin. Now in this moment he is engineer and he is working in the brewing not far away from Sibiu. Is process engineer at Albacher. And other two students from engineering faculty, specialization applied electronics. One of them is Paul Alexandru Balog and Petișor Neacșu. As I said, we started to work with these three students at the beginning of the last summer, and they are practical work, and we developed the system, and then we developed the also the software, and also we presented the first steps in this project at the Sibiu Innovation Days, the hackathon, Sibiu Innovation Days from Sibiu, in that we took place in October, yes, last year. Okay. So we have had an idea to monitoring the system of beer fermentation, alcoholic fermentation, by monitoring the foam that is the foam from the fermentation wort of the beer. And this monitoring, we call innovative monitoring because we develop an advanced system for monitoring and analyzes beer wort fermentation using digital image processing. A few technical description of the vessels and of the process. I will start it. Beer production is a complex process that involves many steps, as we know, with fermentation being a crucial one. Traditional methods of monitoring fermentation are time-consuming and prone to errors. In this presentation, we will explore how digital image processing and artificial intelligence can be used to develop an advanced system for monitoring and analyzing beer wort fermentation, leading to enhanced accuracy and efficiency. The bioreactor is equipped with various sensors and probes to collect data on the fermentation process, while cameras, we have two cameras, are used to capture images of the liquid in the fermentation vessel. The collected data is processed using the digital image processing algorithms. So, we will start to introduce the basic of beer wort fermentation and the challenges associated with traditional monitoring methods. Then we will delve into the technological foundations of digital image processing and artificial intelligence, and how this can be integrated to enhance fermentation monitoring. Next, we will explore the system architecture and design and the implementation and testing process. Finally, we will discuss the potential benefits and applications of the system and future directions for innovation. Introduction to beer wort fermentation. Beer wort fermentation in a few words, because it's a very interesting process and it's not so easy process. Beer wort fermentation is the process by which yeast converts the sugar from the wort into alcohol and carbon dioxide. Traditional methods of monitoring fermentation involve taking manual measurements of the density of the liquid, which can be time-consuming and prone to errors. Wort wort is the liquid extracted from the mash during the brewing process. It contains sugars that yeast will feed during fermentation, and its composition can affect the flavor, aroma, and color of the beer. Traditional methods of monitoring fermentation involve taking manual measurements of the density of the liquid using a hydrometer or a refractometer, and calculating the alcohol content based on the change in density over the time. All these methods provide limited information about the fermentation process. Additionally, they require frequent sampling of the liquid, which can introduce contamination and disrupt the fermentation process. So, some technological foundations of our work, research work. Digital images, image process involve analyzing images of the liquid to extract information about its density, color, and other variables. This involves techniques such as thresholding, edge detection, and image segmentation. System architecture and design. The system collects real-time from the fermentation vessel and processes it using image processing algorithms. The pre-process data is then fed into artificial intelligence models, which generate prediction about the fermentation process. Excuse me, but I'm not so well. Software and components and algorithms that we have used, data collection and processing, real-time collection, images processing, and some. And now I will present the implementation and testing. Real-time monitoring involves collecting and pre-processing data from the fermentation vessel and using it to adjust the fermentation conditions to optimize the fermentation process. The feedback loop integrated the data processing, artificial intelligence modeling, and fermentation control components of the system. Testing the system involved validation, its performance in control environments, such as laboratory settings and in real world environments, such as craft brewing and large-scale production facilities. Image processing techniques that we used, the image capturing process is a critical part of the digital system used to monitoring and optimize beer fermentation. Two cameras are carefully positioned to capture images of the liquid from the fermentation vessel at different angles. This provides more comprehensive data from analyzing and ensure accuracy and consistency in the monitoring process. The Windows task scheduler is used to automate the hourly capture of images, providing a continuous stream of data for analysis. This ensures that the fermentation process is monitored continuously and that any issues can be identified and addressed in real time. Image pre-processing is a step in preparing images for analysis. Brightness adjustment is used to ensure that the image is not too bright or too dark, which can affect the accuracy of image analysis. Color collection is used to balance color tones, ensuring that colors are not too saturated or too muted. Resolution adjustments can be used to enhance image clarity, increase the level of detail that can be observed in the image. These techniques can help ensure accuracy and reliable image analysis results. The next step is image segmentation and foam detection. Image segmentation is a component of the digital system used to monitor beer fermentation. The segment image script is a powerful tool for image segmentation and foam detection by manual selection of region, as you can see here, of region of interest, using the select ROI script, irrelevant elements such as sensor or steel bars inside the bioreactor can be eliminated, providing more accurate results. This technique is especially useful for monitoring the foam in the fermentation vessel, which can affect the quality and efficiency of the beer production process. Segmentation, of course, is a critical step in analyzing digital image for data collection and processing. Then here are the manual selection. I show you the manual selection of interest region of interest of area of the foam. Here the foam. We analyze the bubbles with analyze bubbles script. That is a component of the digital system used to monitor and optimize the beer fermentation process by detecting and analyze the size and distribution of the bubbles in the foam. The script can provide important insight into the behavior of gases during the fermentation process and the overall evolution of the process fermentation. This information can be used to optimize the fermentation continuously and improve the quality of the final product. Then foam heights is other variable in evaluating the fermentation process, and the calculate foam height script provides a precise way to measure it. The script uses segmented images to determine the separation line between the foam and the liquid, and generates data that can be used to generate graphs showing the evolution of foam height over the time. Curve fitting and mathematical modeling can be applied to this data, providing valuable insight into the fermentation process. Also, the anomalies script is a vital component in the digital system used to monitor the beer fermentation process. Its purpose is to detect anomalies in the fermentation process. Those may be caused by unexpected bubble count or foam evolution. This script compares data obtained each hour and detects significant deviation from the normal process pattern. Any deviation can alert the users to potential issues in the fermentation process, allowing the quick and effective technologies. Then we generate the graphics, some graphics. The generate foam graph script is a powerful tool for analyzing foam evolution and the bubble characteristics during the fermentation process. The graphs generated generated allow for better optimization of the process and higher quality products using these graphs like this. We generate the graphs like this. Viewers can identify critical stages in the fermentation process and take appropriate steps to ensure optimal conditions. Overall, the generate from graphs script is an essential tool for any brewer looking to optimize the fermentation process and improve the quality of their products. So it's I presented all our script and codes that we made in MATLAB, and this research work we called a little project integrate four criteria in 4 criteria: resilience, digitalization, sustainability, and human-centered focus in order to optimize the fermentation process. The automation monitoring system uses anomaly detection and constant analysis of fermentation variables to ensure a stable and robust process that can quickly adapt to unexpected variation or errors. This level of resilience is essential for monitoring continually and quality in industrial beer production by identifying potential issues early on. Rapid corrective actions can be implemented to prevent product quality degradation. The project is also the project also prioritizes sustainability by reducing waste and optimizing the use of resources. Ultimately, the goal is to create a fermentation process that is not only efficient, but also human-centered and environmentally friendly. Also, digital technologies like MATLAB and images processing have transformed the way we monitor and analyze the beer wort fermentation process. These technologies allow for automation of analysis and the integration of data with cloud platforms, providing real-time feedback and adjustment of fermentation conditions. The research project is part of an innovation vision on developed an advanced system for monitoring and analyzing the beer wort fermentation process using digital image processing technologies and artificial intelligence implemented in MATLAB. We work the last year in 2024, but now we are working in 2025. They are more. They added some facilities in this version. Also, the system is automated. It is designed to allow for human intervention through an intuitive use interface. This interface allows users to select region of interest and use data for informed decision making. Operators are an integral part of the system, continuously supported by the collected information to make the best adjustment, ensure the final product's quality. The user-friendly interface and the access to detailed visualization allow users to quickly understand complex information and make well-informed decisions. But now we are in the stage to develop the model we are in work a lot of fermentation now to collect a lot of data, and we want to introduce the control using a neural networks model, and also we want to develop an interface that can provide graphics, and the engineer, the technological engineer, can observe the evolution of the fermentation process. So these are our research, and also I presented our future application. Can be integrated with IoT, the system, and smart brewing system to create a fully automated brewing process. And also the system can potentially be expanded to other fermentation processes, so such as wine and cider production, or also others fermentation.
Thank you very much, Anca. I will continue. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes.
Just a moment to start from the beginning. Okay. So just this is, let's say, also a joint work between our department together with Professor Anca ftIPOFT and myself and my colleague Daniel Morariu. We developed an application regarding AI tools like neural networks enhanced with genetic algorithms for modeling, predicting, and managing the white wine fermentation process. So we will go through just too much, just few technical things. I'm a professor in computer science, so and Professor ftIPOFT is working on automation in food engineering, so we complete each other. So we had some paper together based on some master projects that we leaded and supervised together. Part of them were developed using MATLAB. Part of them was developing using C# and .NET technologies. But because the topic of the lecture is also touching agriculture, and we were working on Internet of Things and digitalization and robotization, actually, together with also my colleague Ionela, who is here, and Daniel, work on developing some IoT irrigation systems for a conifer nursery case study. I organized two summer schools, one in Norway and one in Sibiu in 2022 and 2023, where students from Sibiu and Norway participated in both activities. Here, just a little bit of, let's say, a holistic approach where we'll go in the future, or we are in some part of the world in the future regarding smart farm and how useful will be the robots, how we will continue to grow or to use drones and other things for supervising culture or taking data from weather station to make some prediction and other things. Just briefly, I will touch interesting points, in my opinion, about neural networks, genetic algorithms, and fuzzy rules that are applied in the modeling and control and predicting the white wine fermentation. But I will just briefly mention also others from agriculture and engineering domain. We are facing few societal challenges. Part of them are the food waste and the increasing of the number of population and the limitation of resources. But also there are significant disparities between European countries. This is maybe one of the most goal of our project or work. And more than that, there are some technical challenges because as we are going to from industry 4.0 to industry 5.0, actually also agriculture is now moving in the information age or information era. So we discuss about precision agriculture and other important activities based on data collected from agriculture. So we need to create a knowledge transfer of IT skills from agriculture, from computer science and IT skills in agriculture and food processing or security domain. Just few examples where IoT, Internet of Things, would help to collect data and then apply data science for analysis this data and come with decision makers in crops, in livestock, or in distribution. And part of this, let's say, these ideas we did in our research group about environmental monitoring, about irrigation, and also about automation and monitoring, as I said, few processes. Where, let's say, can use artificial intelligence or neural network, part of this AI. Actually, we use for extract indirect information about the alcoholic fermentation process, but also we want to detect fruit or plant disease or nutrient deficiency, but also we can use for cleaning, sorting, or automated packaging the potatoes, for example, or identify ripe vegetables or fruits, or forecasting production in agriculture, or predicting the need of some products in the food recall or other things. Here we have just an image about our work where we use a bioreactor, a physical bioreactor, but where we integrate with our artificial neural network. The first paper based on MATLAB, as I said, but I will go further a little bit to show you. I will show you at the end a few examples with our application, which is free and can be used by internet by any other colleague who want. Okay, also as a process about detecting, as I said, some diseases on fruits or plants. Actually, we need to collect data. Professor ťIPOŠ showed you before about using camera for see the process of beer fermentation, but we can make some picture, and with this picture we create features extraction and then classification about this kind of eel fruits or other vegetables. Here we have also a small application where we use robots from OmniLab, for example, in carrying different things, but also this could be, let's say, extend to a farm where you want to apply image processing and robotization to collect tomatoes. Yes, to see when the tomatoes is can be collected, and with robots with many degree of freedom could collect. Our application actually start from, as I said, a neural network that predict in each moment the stage of the fermentation process. But more than that, because in our former application using MATLAB, we were constrained a little bit and cannot customize the neural network weights, we apply also a genetic algorithm to train the network before to create prediction. And of course, you can see, let's say, the menu of our application. As I said, at the end, I will provide you a small example. And also in our application, as I said, we use genetic algorithm and fuzzy rules. Genetic is used for, let's say, for customize the training process or training the neural network, but fuzzy rules we use in two of our application. One was regarding the irrigation process and automation this process, but also for detecting the fermentation phase of the wine fermentation. So why are important these fuzzy rules? Because they could model, as I said, imprecise concepts, but more than that, to reduce the design space and provide improve quality solution of results. Here, just a small example in the irrigation process, how we can use the fuzzy rules. We have some semantic variables like soil moisture, air humidity, light intensity, and also the temperature. And we want to see which will be the output of our fuzzy control system. Is the time for irrigation or not, or waiting for other things. So based on fuzzification and defuzzification, we can apply such fuzzy rules. So one of the rules, for example, is if the soil moisture is wet and temperature is cold and humidity is high and also light intensity is bright, then meaning many, let's say, moments during the day, then that means that we don't need to irrigate the soil, for example. But in case the soil moisture is dry, the temperature is moderate or high, or humidity is low and intensity is moderate, then we need to irrigate the soil. Also, we can use also information from other, let's say, not only sensor from the ground or from the environment, but also some data from APIs of weather forecast or other things. How we develop our application, our neural networks for wine fermentation, we use a multi-layer perceptrons, and also the learning mechanism was backpropagation. The code was written in MATLAB and C#, as I said, and we have some important metrics like minimum square errors or others. Here is a small of the interface, but I will, and also just a moment that I must put here, yes. Actually, this is the configuration of the neural network where we specify what parameters are used in the prediction process with or without pH or CO2, but also the structure of the neural network, how many layers and how many neurons on each layers. And if we use, let's say, a mechanism about like particle swarm optimization or genetic algorithms to train the network, we can, let's say, obtain better weights for the process. Okay, let's go a little bit farther. Okay, so our application has a backend part, which is the part of the prediction that it works, but also a nice interface. So the front end was developed in ASP.NET or JavaScript and HTML5. And here is the workflow. When we configure the neural network, we can pre-train or not the neural network with genetic algorithms, as I said. And then after training the neural network on some, let's say, percent of the data set, then we obtain the root mean square errors between the prediction and the real data that we obtained. Here are some, let's say, the parameters that we use. As I said, we can use also pH or CO2, but could be skipped. So we have two type of database. We need to take the temperature. We have data for four kind of measurements at 22 degrees, 24, 28, and 26. And also the initial substrate concentration and the biomass concentration. So we want to predict the alcohol concentration or when to stop the the fermentation mechanism, or if we want to stop to some substrate concentration. The input data look like this, taking information from minutes at some specific period about the fermentation process. Here, as I said, the neural network multi-layer perceptron, we have a first input layer based on the parameters of that I show you in the previous slides. Based on the parameterization, we can have many type of neural network, and it necessary sometimes a long time for simulation. Also, the activation function could be varied, and also initialization of the weights. As I said, even with genetic algorithm or particle swarm optimization process. We have the metric about minimizing the mean square error between the network output and the value that we want to obtain. As I said, four kind of data sets, and we train on 70% of data and predict on the last 25%. And somehow like this show the charts with the results based on the from expected alcohol concentration, the gray curve, and also with blue is the prediction made with genetic algorithms, and with red, somehow red, the prediction without genetic algorithms. So using a pre-training network with genetic algorithm, we reduce the testing error to 0.03, and that was a good process. Just a few ideas about how it helps the genetic algorithms. Actually, genetic algorithms was proposed like in nature by Charles Darwin. So we start from an initialization of the population. We evaluate each candidate from the population, and then we go in a number of generations to select parents, then recombine these parents like crossover or applying mutation, and then evaluate the new candidates and providing the new individuals for the next generation. We can see what we have done. Actually, the neural network represents one individual in the genetic algorithms, and the gene from this genetic algorithm, from this individual, actually represents the weights from between neurons from the layers of from the three layers of the multi-layer perceptron. So here just an example how we could apply the uniform crossover and obtain the offsprings, or even to apply mutation with some probability that decrease with the number of generation. And here finally we can see some results, for example, how looks the prediction of the alcohol concentration, or how will decrease the substrate. And here is the application just to show you. And also the last part, we use some rules about, as I said, to detect the phase, where we are in the phase of latent phase or in the phase of exponential phase of fermentation. And for this, we were helped by MATLAB Neurofuzzy Designer. And here some also some movie, but I skip, and I will show you directly as last part the application. Okay, just configure a little bit. For example, without pH and CO2, take let's say, without, we can, as I said, use a different scenario to test. Okay, just to see link to the data sets. Just a moment, it's a long path. Okay, use here data sets and then play. And our application showed the two curves about expected alcohol from the real data and the predicted values from we've read. And also we can see the substrate, how decrease the substrate of based on the time. And also we can use the prediction as if we want to see in some moment how will be the alcohol in any moment. Actually, based on the tool, we can predict the degree of concentration of alcohol or the substrate mass remains after the simulation. So it was just a brief, let's say, yeah, just also to show you the potential to use genetic algorithm, as I said, and here we can configure the genetic algorithms and use for obtaining improved weights. But as I said, my proposal was to show you just a brief idea about our research, and the tool are free, could be used, and we are happy to, let's say, discuss or continue our research with different research group. Thank you. And I invite Anca to go briefly to the last points of the discussions.
I go so very, very quick because we don't have enough time. Perhaps you have some questions. I don't know, but we also have a research concerning the using drones in agriculture. We also published an article. I'm not so specialist in this area. My colleague from agriculture, Romulus IAGṳNRU, is a specialist. He's an agriculture engineer and also an economist. We published an article based on some research that we made in a real society, agricultural society of Romania. The objective of this research was to use the geospatial and in the informational technology in the process of taking analyzing and interpreting them, the inputs optimization considering the state of crops and the degree of soil in each relative homogeneous area of the terrain. The case description, the case study was undertaken on the terrain of the SC Agri Consortium Oravița from Romania, and located in the southwest part of the country, and in the southern country. The methodology employed SC Agri Consortium Oravița make use of technology with very low environment impact for monitoring the resources production, growth, and the vegetation state of crops by using UAV type equipment, unnamed aerial vehicle. So here are the case description. The drones was used for the area monitoring of crops. The drones orientation system is based on the GPS, with each registered photograph also having correlated geographic coordinates of the camera position. Well, the results are here described because we don't have enough time. In relation to flight altitude, the time interval between the photograph and the distance between drones and drones route of automatical in view of their adequate overlapping. And so here are the description how we made and how we monitoring the crops and what are the conclusions. I go so fast. The solution proposed by this case study is human and environment centric through the precision technologies and demonstrate the potential to improve production processes. The materialization of this goal implied, in addition to the experience gained, the following elements: human-centered approach, training, involvement in project, the adoption of innovative technologies, I don't know, combined with cognitive skills and innovation. So what we want to demonstrate here that we also use the drone in, as Adrian said, precision agriculture.
And what I want to complete, Anca,
Yes.
is that this, let's say, last part was described as a case study in the CoDEMO project from ULBS.
Yes,
So
yes.
it's, as I said, the collaboration between a research institute like Lucian Blaga University and the private company that use on their lands these UAV drones for. Because one of the critical things here also near Sibiu, we have a large Dutch company who said that the soil has different properties for not so long distance. In one place has some features, in other place has different feature, and they need to customize what type of plants should be seed there to exploit the properties of the soil or to rotate when it's necessary.
Great, thank you so much for your presentation. I think we can give you all a round of applause. And from the participants, if you have some questions, please feel free to ask. But as I mentioned, this webinar, the recording will be also available on our website, as well as I'm sure the materials which were presented. And also the case study that you mentioned just now, they can all be published at a later point on our platform. But thank you so much to Professor FLOREA and Professor ṭIPOș for your presentation.
Thank you.
Until maybe the participants still think of some questions, would be nice if you also want to take a virtual group photo. If you would like to share your cameras, like to put a video on just for a short minute, would be nice.
I don't know what can I do to be more bright, to be honest, but you have to trust me.
We'll Photoshop you to a bit more light. Great. Great, so then I'll take a group picture. If you're ready, 1, 2, 3, smile. Awesome, thank you so much for your time and for attending our seminar today. There will be other CoDEMO webinars from our partners from Sibiu as well, so feel free to follow us on LinkedIn or keep in touch with us via the email, and we will let you know when the next webinar will be on and also when the materials will be online.
Thank you very much, Julia. And as I said, the problem is not only in one place, there are in many other places, and there are disparities and gaps between countries, and the digitalization could help very much in many things, or combine IT and collecting data with IoT and applying AI on IoT to, let's say, obtain some decision or improve our decision about in many things.
Yeah, great. Thank you for sharing all the insights from the research.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If there are no further questions, then I thank you again, and I will see you next time.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye bye.